Now, this course is focused on the very popular chronological CV. Now, there are other CV types out there, and I think it's really important that we look at those. Skills-based functional CVs, single-page CVs, academic CVs, infographic CVs becoming more and more popular. So functional and skill-based CVs, these are often popular for people that don't have a huge amount of relevant work experience in the industry they're applying for. So maybe career changers, maybe graduates, maybe college or school leavers. And the thing about this CV is that it doesn't focus so much about your work experience. Of course, that's in there and your transferable skills are in there. But the skills section on the first page of the CV, this is where the real emphasis lies. With this CV type, it's less when and more how and why, and it'll look something like this. Your personal information, as we've discussed, a description of key transferable skills, lots of emphasis here, your education and qualifications section, a summary of your work experience, the section about you, your interests, and then your references section. Now, you may on occasion be asked to submit a one-page CV. Now, these can prove quite challenging, but they are possible. Here are my thoughts on how to create that. Your header should include your name, email, and social media URLs as discussed. No need for your address here. Insert your education, keep it brief and to the point. If you've got a higher education qualification, you can probably leave out your secondary and high schools on a one-pager. Use your personal brand statement as the opening. Make sure it is no more than 1 or 2 sentences. Keep your work experience relevant and focus on the most recent accomplishments and cut repetitive bullets. Keep out references, although you could end on a 1-sentence testimonial from a previous employer, neatly centered, that's going to have real impact. Format your document and make the most of the space. Academic CVs should only be used for academic applications because they have to be formatted in a very unique way. They tend to focus more on publications, your research activity, and funding awarded. Academic CVs are usually one document amongst a portfolio of documents. These could include your cover letter, your teaching statement, your research statement, your course samples. They're often longer than other CV types, but shouldn't really be any longer than 4 pages. It's also important to remember that if you are applying for opportunities, and a lot of academics do globally, that's really exciting, but make sure that you research what is expected of you in those areas. It should contain the following sections: objective and profile, education and qualifications, professional appointments and employment, publications. If you have limited or no published work, then consider referring to work in progress, research experience and future interests, teaching experience, administration experience, professional memberships, funding or academic awards, seminars and papers, conference presentations and papers, and referees. You might want to consider subheadings within those sections, so include things like teaching, administration, positions of responsibility, so that your achievements really stand out. Things to remember. Reverse chronological order is a must, so start with the most recent things first. Your document is likely to be scanned quickly, and if the first thing the reader sees is a paper published in 2005, they may think that's your most recent work. Wouldn't necessarily reflect in a very good way. Always tailor the application and read through the job description thoroughly. Make sure that you focus your sections and achievements specifically around their needs. Use plain English. Your application must make sense to people outside of your current institution. Be consistent with your referencing. As it is a longer document, make sure you use page numbers and put your name in the header of every page after page 1. Sounds simple, but really important. If you're creating an infographic CV, then first and foremostly, it needs to tell a compelling story about you, showcasing your skills, your talents, abilities, and your brand. If you are applying for an office-based or professional role, then sending a strong chronological CV tailored to the role that highlights your value will make you stand out, and is probably what the recruiter wants to see. As mentioned, you could, however, use an infographic CV to promote your personal brand and support this. Even add it to your LinkedIn account, your blog, tweet it. You can also take a copy to interviews and leave it with recruiters. Simple online tools have opened up the world of infographics to the masses. So that means that now creating an infographic CV is easy and accessible. I would say just be wary of templates though, because the point of an infographic CV is to showcase your creativity, and always, always, always keep in mind what your employer is really expecting, what they really want.